What if I told you that everything you own, your education, your talent, your success, even your life itself, is not really yours? What if the true cost of being alive is not paid with money, but with service? Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxers the world has ever known, once said a line so powerful that it echoes across generations. Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. This is not just a quote. It is a philosophy, it is a challenge, and it is a reminder that life is temporary, but impact is eternal. Today we are not talking about boxing titles, championships, or fame. Today we are talking about purpose, about humanity, about why serving others is not optional. It is essential. Stay with me, because by the end of this video you may never see success the same way again. Muhammad Ali was known as the greatest boxer, the greatest showman, the greatest athlete of his time. But Ali himself believed that greatness had nothing to do with belts, trophies, or applause. He believed greatness was measured by how many lives you touched. Ali grew up in poverty. He knew hunger, he knew struggle, he knew discrimination. And perhaps that is why he understood something many successful people forget. When you have been given a place in this world, you owe something back. When Ali said, "Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth," he was reminding us that life is not free. We are all tenants on this planet, and the payment is not wealth. It is kindness, compassion, and contribution. Every human being is born with something to give. Some have knowledge, some have strength, some have time, some have influence, some have empathy. The tragedy is not that people lack ability. The tragedy is that people choose not to use it for others. Ali understood that fame is temporary, but service is permanent. Titles fade, crowds disappear, but the good you do lives on long after you are gone. Look at the world today. People chase success as if it is a destination. They chase money as if it is meaning. They chase recognition as if it is fulfillment. But how many of them feel empty even after achieving it all? That emptiness comes from forgetting the rent. Because success without service is hollow. Achievement without contribution is incomplete. A life lived only for oneself is a life half-lived. Ali didn't just speak these words, he lived them. He stood up for civil rights when it cost him his career. He spoke against injustice when silence was safer. He used his fame to highlight poverty, racism, and war. He paid his rent again and again. Service does not always mean grand gestures. It does not require wealth or power. Service begins with small actions, listening when someone needs to be heard, helping when it is inconvenient, speaking up when others remain silent, giving hope when the world feels heavy. True service is not about being seen. It is about being sincere. Ali once said that the man who views the world the same at 50 as he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life. Why? Because growth is not about gaining more for yourself. It is about learning how to give more to others. Every day you wake up, you are given another chance to pay your rent, another chance to make someone's burden lighter, another chance to leave the world a little better than you found it. And here is the most powerful truth. Service transforms not only the receiver, but the giver. When you serve others, you find meaning. When you lift others, you rise. When you give purpose to others, you discover your own. Ali understood that legacy is not built in stadiums. It is built in hearts. Ask yourself, if you were gone tomorrow, what would remain? Who would be better because you lived? What problem did you help solve? What pain did you help ease? These are the questions that define a life. The world does not need more selfish success stories. It needs more servants with courage, more leaders with empathy, more humans who remember why they are here. Service is not weakness. It is strength. It is discipline. It is responsibility. And it is the price of existence. Ali's words remind us that life is not about how much you take, it is about how much you give back. Your room on earth is temporary. Your rent is due every day. Pay it with kindness. Pay it with courage. Pay it with service. Imagine a world where everyone paid their rent, a world where success was measured by contribution, where leaders served before they ruled, where strength was used to protect, not dominate. This is not a dream. It is a choice, and it begins with you. You do not need permission to serve. You do not need recognition to matter. You do not need perfection to help. Start where you are. Use what you have. Help who you can. That is how legacies are built. Muhammad Ali's hands were once weapons in the ring, but his heart was always open to humanity. He showed us that the strongest punch is compassion, and the loudest victory is kindness. When history remembers Ali, it does not remember just the fights. It remembers the stand, the courage, the service. That is the kind of greatness available to all of us. So remember this the next time you ask, "What is my purpose?" Your purpose is not just to succeed. Your purpose is to serve. Because service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. Pay it generously. Pay it daily. And when your time comes to leave, may the world say, "They paid their rent in full." Thank you for watching. If this message inspired you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Subscribe for more powerful stories, wisdom, and motivation that truly matter. Because a meaningful life is not measured by what you gain, but by what you give.